This is an update for all of you who were patient enough to wait for an update, and I really apologize that I hadn't had the opportunity to give you guys like an update on the tank because I spent one summer in Alaska, the next summer in Africa, and then I just got back from Mexico not too long ago, so I really haven't had the time to work on something. I had several clips of some of the stuff that I've been doing over the past 2 years since I uploaded the first video, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So as you can tell, I'm trying something different. I'm experimenting with a few different species that will work with a self-sustaining ecosystem, and one of these is the ghost shrimp. These little guys have been living in the tank for a few months, and they're actually doing really well. They're smart enough to stay away from the larger predator fish, and by predator I mean like the Neolaprologus Brichardi. They're not very big, but they still try to take a nip at these guys. They don't last, they're not intended to last very long. They're kind of like a feeder shrimp if you go to your pet store and buy them. But ghost shrimp will do well in your tank, especially if you have the right water parameters. And in this case, it seems like they handle very well. Now this right here, what you're looking at is albino bullfrog tadpoles. And I've got them from a breeder in California who shipped them to me, and I've had the opportunity and the privilege to grow several of these little guys into full adult mature bullfrogs, and I took them back to a friend of mine who owns a pet store, and he's got them on display. These guys are a lot of fun to work with. They eat everything that the fish don't eat. They're omnivores, and they're a lot of fun. You just have to keep an eye open for them once they start getting their legs, because it won't be long before they try to start jumping out of the tank. In this case, I've managed to make them to get pretty healthy and pretty big within a few months. If you keep the water cold, their development and metamorphosis will actually be a lot slower. So for you guys who would like to keep them in tadpole stage for longer, just keep the water temperature lower. As you can see, I've been doing some different stuff, putting some more plants in there. The guppies are still the main part of the tank. I'm trying out some Neolaprologus Brichardi. These guys live in colonies, and basically they're the ones that you're seeing right there underneath the rock on the right hand side of the tank. These guys, the male and female, will set out a territory, and they will start laying the eggs. Once the eggs hatch, they'll start protecting the young, and as that generation of young start growing older, they'll help the parents protect the next brood and the next brood and the next brood, until the colony gets pretty big and it starts taking over a larger part of the tank. But for the most part, I find them to be very peaceful. They are Tanganyikan cichlids, and I think the largest they grow is about 2.5 inches, 3 inches. If you noticed, I had to put a deer skull inside of the fish tank to add some more calcium to the snails. Now here, this is something that's been really interesting. The betta fish have actually been so comfortable that the male started building a bubble nest and getting the female, seducing the female into the bubble nest, and so she's been laying eggs, and right now he's picking them up. This is one of the clips that I was really excited to show you guys, and as you can tell, like I said, the fish tank turned into a nursery. So these are the betta fish doing what they do in the wild, you know. I got a lot of comments on the last video saying people couldn't believe that I had more than one betta fish in one tank and how they weren't killing themselves. Well, it's not just that they weren't killing themselves, killing each other. They were actually thriving in this environment. That now the male felt comfortable enough to build a bubble nest, and the female felt comfortable enough in their environment to actually start mating with the male. So I think that has a lot to say with the health of this ecosystem. I ended up putting a little net in the bottom to help catch the eggs for the male, because she was loaded. She had a lot of them, and he was having trouble catching them all before they actually made it to the gravel. A few weeks later, I caught this little guy, and actually, no, I took this guy from the bubble nest, and that was a little baby betta fish. Now here you're looking at the baby Neolaprologus. So these are Neolaprologus Brichardi fry, and as you can tell, the parents have become really protective over this area, so they're shooing away anybody that comes along too close. As the small fry start getting older, they'll help the next generation. And here is, in the background you can see the younger fry that have grown up a little bit. Here you have a Bristle Plecostamus, and he is guarding a nest of eggs. Here is a blue mystery snail. This is sped up 8 times so you can see it laying eggs. The blue betta fish was right underneath the snail. If you slow down the footage, you can see the blue crown tail just hanging out there. And here's a little tiny box that I put on the side because I was really excited because this was my first batch of blue mystery snails. So I put them in a separate batch. The bottom tank is still basically doing the same thing. I need to do some work on it to kind of get the plants back established into it. The guppies are thriving. Everything seems to be going fine for them. But over the next few months, I'm going to be doing, you could say, a whole do-over in the top tank. The angelfish are still laying eggs. I don't know if those eggs are fertile. They keep laying eggs almost in the glass. They keep changing sides, but anyway, I don't know if the eggs are fertile. I've never seen any angel fry. So I told you guys that I was building a 6-month supply automatic feeder, and as you can tell, here's kind of like what it started. This is my prototype, so this is my 2.0, I guess, and it's just a 1-inch pipe with an auger bit in there, and it's a 1-inch auger bit, and it goes inside of the 1-inch pipe, and I've got a small little motor. It's got 32 pounds of torque, and it does 1 revolution per minute. And so I took this square bucket, and I cut out some templates with cardboard, and once I had the templates the way that I wanted them, in order to force all the fish food into the direction of the auger, I went ahead and took like a shoebox, one of those plastic shoebox that you can find at Walmart, one of those Tupperware lids or whatever, and I cut out exact replicas of the templates so that I can put it in the bottom of the bucket. Now I ordered all of this stuff off eBay. This is just a 12-volt power supply, DC, and the little motor runs on 12 volts DC. The auger bit I bought in Tractor Supply. It's a 1-inch auger bit, and then I cut it with a hacksaw. I drilled a hole in the end of the auger bit in order to fit the piece where the little motor will attach to it. And so all of this stuff I either bought on eBay or Lowe's. I'm going to try to put it down in the description, all the stuff that you need. But I ended up filling up the bucket, and I was in Africa for almost an entire month, and then I spent the next few weeks in Florida and then in Mexico. So this had way over 6 months food supply, and it handled excellent. Now this is just another little side video that I put on here because a friend of mine had a 75-gallon tank and he wanted to do something similar to mine, and so I helped him kind of like set it up. So you can do what I did on a smaller scale and it'll turn out to be really good. He wanted to do African cichlids, so we set them up. So everybody that says that you cannot have African cichlids with plants, this is proof that it's a lie. I really appreciate everybody and all the comments that they've made for the previous version of the tank. I'm going to be doing, like I said, some more work on the tank on top. I'm going to redo the entire background, and I'm really looking forward to like what you guys think of these short clips of everything that's been going on. Like I said, it's a self-sustaining ecosystem, so I try to do it as little work as possible. Thank you guys.